Okay, welcome to the second episode of my Intrepid 4x5 journey. In this episode I am going to give you a little bit of a tour of the camera as you get it from Intrepid. Although I'm going to talk about this particular camera, really a lot of the principles are similar for this sort of basic 4x5 camera, apart from you get one of these when you buy from Intrepid. I'll just put it there next to the camera, which is a little badge that you could wear, nice little camera badge. So I'll just pop that down for a second. It comes in the box, compressed like this, or collapsed like this I should say. On the top, got a little piece of wood that is really just protecting the back plate. So if I just take this off the off my light stand for a second, so you can perhaps just better see the camera. So really what it's doing is just protecting this piece here, which is a piece of perspex. So let me just put this back on the tripod for a second. There we go. So I moved into Kim's studio to do this video because I just needed a bit more space, really, so I could have this camera on the tripod, and I could have a couple of cameras set up as well as the microphone and a couple of continuous lights. I've got some continuous lights either side of me there, and I'm filming on my GH4, and the close-up is being done on a 5D Mark IV. And just if you're interested, I've got a RØDE shotgun mic over here, just this that sort of distance away from me, just connected into a Zoom H1. Anyway, back to the 4x5 camera. So when it comes collapsed, the first thing you need to do is obviously expand it, have a look at actually how it fits together. So what we just need to do is just loosen the screws here. And you basically pull the camera up just like that, and just fasten these off again. This piece is a little bit loose, and you can see you have a little wheel here, nut here. You can just undo, and this basically is what fastens this, which is called the front standard, to this base plate. So I'll just put this in my pocket for a second. Just what you need to do is just loosen these two off and move the standard up a little bit. Now actually, before I do that, perhaps if I just show you in here, you can see a little notch, and there's an equivalent one on the other side, and basically if you move up to that notch, which is a bit awkward to see actually from that position, but excuse me, and just tighten up into that notch, that effectively centres the camera. So when that's just there, that you know then that that's in a centre alignment there for the lens. What you then need to do is get your little nut here, and the three positions that you can put it into, and the decision about which one you're going to use will depend on how close you want to focus, and also the type of lens you've got. Just for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to screw into the middle one here. Oops. Which, to be honest, I'm finding quite fiddly. I've done this a few times now. It's getting a little bit easier, but I've not quite got the technique off pat to get that in. Oh, there we go. That's in nicely. There are a few markings on top of the camera here that'll let you line up. So that's nicely aligned, and just then screw that in nice and tight. And there you have it. That's the camera as it comes. So basically, this little nut here lets you focus, so you can focus in and out like that. As you can see, the bellows bag here expands and contracts. There's another little nut like this one on this side, which will lock the focus, so now I can't turn that. In terms of movements, you can move obviously the rear standard, so this is called the rear standard, so just loosen those off, and you can tilt that forward or tilt it back into its upright position. You don't get any other movements than that. You can't twist this or move this up and down or even move this back. The actual main movements that you get are with the front standard, which is this one here. So if you just loosen this off a little bit, you can tilt forward, tilt back. You can obviously move up and down as I did before when I moved it up into the central position. And if you just loosen this off, you can move to the side and to side. Now, on more expensive cameras, more advanced cameras, you can do a lot of micro adjustment for this sort of thing, but with this camera it is fairly basic, so you don't get those sorts of micro controls, but it does the job, and it is a relatively inexpensive camera anyway. I didn't mention actually, I think maybe I mentioned in the first video, but these are made by some guys in the UK, in a place called Brighton on the south coast, and they basically make these to order. So on the front standard, you have a little plate. If I just turn that around so you can see, you can basically put your lens and its board on here, and this basically moves up and down to lock the board in place. If we just look at the back for a second, if I just twist that around, you can see this is where you'd actually look to try and focus the camera, and normally on a sort of more expensive camera this would be ground glass. I think this is some sort of perspex actually, but it serves the same purpose. Although I have to in mind there are a couple of like fingerprints on it. It's not actually affecting the way that the focus works or anything like that, so I think it's fine, but maybe there's a slight issue in quality control over my particular camera. Not complaining, it does the job and I'm more than happy with that. As you can see, that's in portrait mode. You can just swing this whole thing around and just move that into landscape mode like that. There's some magnets here that just lock it in place, but with a bit of pressure it will just move from one orientation to the next. And as typical on these sorts of cameras, we've got some, we can just basically, if I just perhaps move that back to that position, we can just open that up to get the film inside. You can also just take this off if you want to. If I just, I'll just show you what I'm doing here. You just take the rubber bands off here, and this whole thing just comes apart. As you can see, it is just a couple of pieces of wood with a bellows bag and this little plate on the back. Let's see if I can get that lined up, and then just put the rubber bands back on. I don't think I've got that quite lined up, but it's quite awkward to see when I'm just looking over the top of it, just like this. Actually, I'll just move that around so I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, as you can probably see, I'm a bit fingers and thumbs with this, or all thumbs. I'm not really used to handling this camera yet, but I'm sure the more I get used to it, the more straightforward that'll become. So what else to tell you about it? Okay, I guess we'll put it all together. So if you wanted to collapse it and put a way to carry it, basically we just undo this little screw here, take that out, just put it in my pocket so I don't lose it, and then before you actually collapse it, if you just move that back down to its lower position like that. And the reason we move it back down to its lower position is so that what we can do is we can just screw that into that hole there. As I said, I find this a little bit awkward at the moment, especially as I'm right-handed. I'm trying to do this with my left hand. Basically then that fits just nicely over that, just like that. Just loosen these off, and then the whole thing just tilts down, and then you can just screw these back up again to tighten it. You can also, just get my piece of this piece of wood. You can also just pop that under there if you wanted to, just to protect the ground glass at the back. I get under there, just like that, and there you go. That's all there is to it. It's quite obviously it's a very simple camera. As I said, this was quite an inexpensive camera to buy like this, and this was a birthday present. In order to actually use it as a camera though, you need some more accessories, and that'll be what I'll describe in the next video. So basically a lens board, you need some dots, you need some film holders to put your film into, you obviously need some film, and a few other bits and pieces, and I'll just go through that. And actually, as it happens, I'm pretty sure, 100% sure, that I spent more money on those things than Kim did actually on buying this camera in the first place. So when you buy this, if you do get into this sort of thing, then just bear in mind that it's like any other type of photography. The gear gets quite expensive as you buy more and more of it. But I'll describe what I bought and why I bought the things that I bought in the next video. So hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions, obviously just leave some comments and I'll try and answer them as best I can. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.